Welcome everyone to Chronic Wellness, where ancient wisdom meets modern consciousness. I'm your host, Don Antonio Corianti, your friendly neighborhood shaman. Really look forward to doing this episode. This episode number 7 is titled Living in Alignment with Universal Intelligence. And living in alignment with universal intelligence is something that I strive to work for every day, and also something I share in my teachings with my students and my clients, and in the group settings where I work and things like that. I'm always working to try to cultivate a better connection with that cosmic or universal intelligence, or some people might call it the higher self, or there's different ways it can be kind of explained. We're just using it as, like, your primary intuitive sense, your higher power. The easiest way to encapsulate all that is what I found is using the term universal intelligence. Okay, so I want to welcome everybody. If you're just coming in, drop a comment, say hello, let us know where you're watching from. We'll be diving into this profound topic of living in alignment with universal intelligence, and what it means to tap into cosmic consciousness, and how to live and move with the flow of life rather than against it. Because I can tell you from experience of myself and the thousands of people I work with around the world that it's a very common occurrence for us to work against ourselves, to actually not go with the flow of the universal design. And this is generally where most of our suffering arises from. But today I'll be sharing insights, practical techniques, and perspectives that can help you cultivate alignment with the greater intelligence that moves through all things. The great intelligence that moves through all things. That's universal intelligence. And then also at the end, I've also written out a meditation, and we'll finish today with a meditation bringing us into universal alignment. So again, I want to welcome everybody. Welcome to Chronic Wellness, episode 7. Whether you're watching live or if you're watching later, still drop in, hit the comments, and let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know if you have any questions or insights as we go along. And what we're going to do is we're just going to get started. I have this broken down into segments, and we're going to move into segment 1. And segment 1 of today's podcast is understanding cosmic consciousness. Now, people talk about cosmic consciousness and things like that, but I don't think it's really explained well, or brought into a deeper level of understanding. And it's really important to talk about when we break down cosmic consciousness. Like, what is this? What is it? It's more than just a concept, okay? Like, it's not just a concept, it's a direct experience. And that's really what's important, is because it can't really be something that is easily explainable. It can be something you can be guided to, but ultimately it has to be experienced. Just like all other forms of real being, just hearing about it is one thing. That's conceptual. Experience is where wisdom begins to come in. And that direct experience of reality, that's beyond the thinking mind. That's really what it comes down to, because people always come to me, I'm stuck and I don't know what to do. And the first thing I bring to them is, well, we need to calm that part of your mind down, because your mind has different areas and different parts. The part that's frantically thinking is going to be directly related to your past experiences. And it's hard to create new experiences when you're stuck in the loop of past experience, a defense network per se. So what needs to happen is the mind has to be kind of shifted. The physiology needs to be shifted so you can begin to access deeper parts of the subconscious mind. Where was I? So ways that you can think about this, some call it the divine, or the quantum field. I use all of these terms interchangeably. Source, or source light, or source program, or simply the intelligence that governs all of life. Or another way I like to say it is the all that is. connecting to the all that is, the part of you that's beyond your physical self. There's more to you than just this physical body. So some of the key points are cosmic consciousness is the awareness that all things are interconnected. So that's kind of the first step, is training your mind to come into some sort of awareness that everything's connected. All is one. It's all a living system. Just like you have 30 trillion cells that make up the body that is you, or the universe that is you, you don't consider them separate things from the whole. Just as we aren't separate things from the whole. We are, however, all having very unique experiences, just as we're meant to, but ultimately we're not separate from the oneness, which is the universe. This intelligence, this universal intelligence, moves through nature, the cycles of life, and even within our breath. This is why I teach breathing, because at the fundamental depth of understanding of the breath is, it's your life force energy. Yes, it's not something that you can see, but you can feel it. It's a feeling. When you breathe in and you take in that deep breath through your nose and fill up your belly and your chest, when you use that diaphragm, it's undeniable. The feeling that happens. Most people can't even use their diaphragm because they're in such a heightened state of sympathetic dominance, or a fight or flight or defense mode, that they can't even use the diaphragm. Most people, 9 out of 10 people, have inverted breathing patterns. And one way you can test to see if you have an inverted breathing pattern is to take in a deep breath. You're just taking a natural deep breath and see where the air goes. Did your tummy suck in and did your chest and shoulders rise? That's what most people do. That is an inverted breathing pattern. So a diaphragmatic type breathing pattern is when the lower lungs fill up first, the lower lobes. So your diaphragm's actually spreading out and down, and then up into your chest. So what happens is you actually get more oxygen this way. 2/3 of your blood volume is at the bottom of your lung structures just because of gravity. So when you're breathing in and going deeper into the bottom of the lungs, you're actually having much better oxygenation of the blood. So there's a lot of things that connect you into the physiology of these things, these cycles of life. The other thing about universal intelligence is it's not separate from us. We are an extension of it. So another way to say is God isn't separate from us. We are an extension of God. That's another way to say it. I like to use these words interchangeably because it all depends on your belief system. And what I always like to point out is belief systems are very unique, just like our fingerprints. Each one of us has a very unique belief system, and what we believe is the higher power or the universal intelligence. And that's why I don't try to tell you there's some hard, fast rules to it, because there isn't. It's about you. It's about your connection. And it's your vibration and connection is what really matters in the long run. Many spiritual traditions have described this as, to connect with this, as enlightenment, or in ancient Chinese terms, it's the Tao, or in more like North American type of in Native Americans, it would be like Great Spirit. Okay, we kind of say it that way too in our tradition. The creative essence of all things is, for us, we call it Wirikocha. And it's a masculine and feminine. It's all creation put together, really. It's the main creative energy of all things, the Great Spirit. When we're disconnected from this intelligence, okay, which is most of the time, that's where I used to spend most of my life, when we're disconnected from this universal intelligence, it feels like we're struggling. There's resistance, there's stress, there's confusion. That's that tightness, and that's what drives that sympathetic dominant nervous system state that keeps you sick. It actually makes you sick. It stops your body's natural ability to heal and its natural defense, your immune function, from working properly. And it also stops you from being able to properly absorb and digest nutrition. So even if you eat really well, if you don't have control of your mind and you're not taking time every day to connect to your higher self or connect to the divine intelligence, you're going to have some issues. So when we align, we experience flow. okay, that flow state. And when I say flow, it's basically what I'm describing is a frequency of consciousness or a state of consciousness where everything's kind of easy, it's smooth going on ease. Um, you'll also probably recognize synchronicities, things that just fall in place, maybe repeating numbers or signs. There's always some sort of signs. And then also often like a deep sense of knowing. Your intuition is kind of spot on. Okay, that's something that you'll notice when you're in alignment. There's a flowing energy. And, all of us have the ability to enter there, and most of us know what that feels like and maybe have at least intermittently felt those things. But we do have the ability to turn that on more and spend more time there. It doesn't mean that we won't have challenges and, drift away from that frequency of consciousness. We're kind of meant to. But we get better at being able to return to it. Let's see. So what we're going to move into is we're going to talk about alignment. And, when we talk about what alignment actually looks like in everyday life, when we are in harmony with the universe and intelligence, we often will feel things. So like signs of alignment, like what are some signs that you're in alignment? And like I said, some of these things you may have experienced before. Synchronicities that appear frequently. Often I have people come to me and they tell me when they're in flow and certain things are happening in their life, they see repeating numbers, 1111, 333, maybe words that are feels like the universe is talking to them, synchronicities, and they appear over and over and over. It's like breadcrumbs on the path letting you know you're on your way. Another thing that might be a sign of alignment is when your decisions feel effortless. You can tell you're just being guided by your intuition. Who's felt that, right? I know I feel that quite often from time to time, where I'm just letting go of my thinking and my fear, and I'm allowing my higher guidance to just take me where it needs to take me. And the decisions feel effortless, and the intuition is definitely feeling guided. Another sign of alignment is a sense of peace. No matter what is happening externally, you can still allow yourself to be in peace. So you can get a flat tire and maybe you're a little upset, but you're able to shift into that space of alignment with your higher self, and you realize that there's a reason for this. Maybe it made you late, but maybe you're not late because the universal design is protecting you from something else, maybe a car wreck or something else. It's the understanding, really. That alignment comes in through the understanding that the universal design is always working in your favor, even when it doesn't seem like it is. But that sense of peace, no matter what's happening externally, that can be a sign of alignment for you. Opportunities arise naturally without force, like things just show up. You don't have to force them. You don't have to worry about them. They just kind of show up. They show up right where you need to be. And then also another sign of alignment would be like inner clarity and a deep trust in life unfolding. You're trusting the life as it unfolds, or as I would say, trusting in the universal design. It's one of my favorite things to understand within me, is that the universal design is without flaw. It's too intelligent. It's always doing what it needs to do, and it's just responding to my energy and what I'm putting in. Whatever you're putting in, you're going to get back. This doesn't mean you can fly as high as you want. You can be as positive as you want. It does not mean that there will not be challenges. Challenges must occur. Without challenges, you can't grow. If you're not uncomfortable, how would you grow? The thing is we can get better and more skillful at navigating challenges by adjusting our mindset to recognize that it's always working for us. And even if that's hard for you to believe, just beginning to practice that and put that into your mind, using it as a sense of logic above all other things, because it doesn't make any other sense for you to use your mind in any other way, because it disempowers you. And the ultimate goal is for you to learn how to empower yourself. All right, so then we'll talk about the flip side of that coin. The flip side of that coin is signs of disconnection. So these are things, this is how you know when you're in disconnection, and you're going to recognize these things. Persistent stress, anxiety, or resistance. When you're in that mode, when you're in that place of persistent stress, you're just stressed out, everything's bothering you, you're anxious, it's like you're on this roller coaster ride that you wish you could just get off of, and you're resisting no, I don't want this, I don't want that. You're consistently resisting. These are signs of disconnection or disharmony from the universal intelligence that is all around. Another thing is feeling or stories arising in the mind where you feel like life is working against you. Now, who hasn't been there? I've been there. I mean, before my awakening, I think I used to spend most of my time there. I think my mind used to always put myself in a place of victimhood. This world is against me. I'm a survivor in this world. Instead of now my understanding more is wow, I get to have this human experience along with all the things that comes with it. Another thing that can show you that you are not on your alignment is overthinking and indecisiveness. If you have a hard time making decisions or you're consistently overthinking everything, that's fear. It's fear and the need to control outcomes that's non-trust. That means that you're not trusting your reality as it's unfolding. You don't trust it at all. So by in that case, what happens is the default network, the defense network of the mind begins to put you in states of overthinking. You're trying to overcome something you have no control over. This is typically what leads to most human suffering. It's a disagreement with reality. Disagreement with reality always leads to some sort of suffering. Another one is a sense of separation from yourself and others. When you feel like you're misunderstood, no one understands you, you feel separated from others. That's the ego that creates that illusion because it's all one thing. I do know what that feels like when you feel alone or you feel a sense of separation. You can even feel a sense of separation from yourself. That's even possible. But this is just showing you that you're out of alignment. And you know what? We've all been in both of these places, alignment and misalignment. And it's not that one is good and one is bad. Misalignment's going to happen because it's through misalignment that you can find alignment. You see? We're past kind of now in the stages of our growing consciousness where we're going to keep labeling things as good and bad. They're whatever you allow them to be. That's really what the truth is. That's how the judgment for everything goes that way. Nothing has any meaning. Nothing has any meaning whatsoever until we assign meaning to it. Okay? And that's important to understand as we develop our consciousness. As we develop that consciousness is understanding that the meaning I assign to things has everything to do with how I'm perceiving life and what's going on. So, the key is that recognizing when you're out of sync and having the tools to realign, okay? It's okay to be out of alignment. You don't beat yourself up. You're like, oh, there I am. I'm falling back into my old patterns and I'm not good and I'm a bad person because I'm experiencing my life. No, it's just being okay. Like, oh, I see how I'm disempowering myself and I can tell I'm out of alignment. So then, using tools, we have these beautiful tools I'm going to share with you and practical tips for aligning with the flow of life. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about how we can actively align with this internal universal intelligence. Okay, these are simple but powerful practices that shift us back into the flow state. And when I say flow state, a lot of people kind of get confused. What is the flow state? It's a state of consciousness where you're just calm. It's a deep calmness. You've taken control of the physiology of your body. You're no longer in a fight or flight mode. That's what's most important, is being able to control your state. And the first steps, what do I always teach is in controlling your state? Breath work. Breath work, your breathing, and not just your practice, not just sitting down and practicing. That builds the neurology, just like when you do yoga. When you're doing the yoga, it's building a neurological function within the body. It's a spiritual technology. So that way, when you need that energy, when you need that in your actual life, it's already there. So the breathwork practice helps to build the mind, but ultimately, the breathwork practice is for you to be able to use your breath the way you need to, when you run into issues in your life. Breath is your connection to life itself. Okay, that's the primary understanding. And it's so easily overlooked and misunderstood. I was sitting with one of my colleagues last night and we were talking about it's really hard just to get people to really understand, to really pay attention to just how powerful their breathing is and how it affects their brain when there's all of the science. But again, I can give you all of the information. It doesn't matter what kind of information I give you, that's just knowledge. I can give you all of the knowledge. It is up to you to develop the wisdom through experience. You must continue to experience. So conscious breathing brings us back to the present moment. It brings you back into the now, and it will dissolve resistance. Just being aware of your breathing. Even right now as I'm talking, you can become aware of your breathing. Slow it down. Just become aware. Just give all of your attention to it coming in and going out. As soon as all of your attention goes into your breathing, you've become embodied. And when you become embodied, there's not much room for other nonsense to kind of infect you in a sort of way. Okay? One practice I love is something called the universal breath. It's a rhythmic inhale and exhale that attunes you to the pulse of creation. Okay, so it's really simple. We'll run through a little practice of this. We'll use this type of breathing too when we do our meditation. So it's nice little practice here. What I always tell you is blow your nose. And before you do any breath work, you want to make sure you're in a nice, comfortable position. If you're driving or doing something like that, you can do this, but you want to do this very carefully. Okay, so what happens is we'll spend just a few minutes, and what we do is we inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and then slow exhale for 6. 5, 6, in for 4, hold for 4, out for 6, in 4. Hold 4, out 6, in 4, hold 4, out 6, in 4, hold 4, out 6. In, hold, out, in, hold, out, in, hold, out, and just relax and just feel. So through using this breath, what happens is it brings you into a really nice calming state. And it brings you into an openness. It starts to open you up to be able to feel and sense beyond the incessant thinking. The more you practice with it, the more powerful it gets. And this also is something that you can do anytime. You don't need to be in a meditation room or anything like that. Maybe there's something going on at the office. You work in an office, you're starting to get frustrated, you're a nurse, you're at work, you're working somewhere, something's happening. Most people have lots of stress at work. You begin to follow your breath. You can do this anywhere. You don't have to tell anyone. It doesn't have to be telegraphed. You're just breathing in, holding it, and letting it go slow. Oh, you make it so quiet and so soft. This gives you that reprieve. The thing is stress is also addictive. So if you find yourself not being able to let go, you're going to have to start to find out, why is it that I hold on to this state? What do I love about this that I keep holding on to it? So breath work. Breath work is a very powerful tool. Just a simple breath like that, do that 3 to 5 minutes a day. I guarantee that your life will begin to change. If you show up every day just to spend 5, if you're, 5's enough, 10 minutes is even better. Okay, a day of just sitting there and being with your breath, you're training your mind, you're training your subconscious mind, and you're training your nervous system. It's a beautiful way to begin to shift your entire life. I will tell you this, anyone I've ever trained in breath work and they've stuck with it for a period of time have seen profound changes in their life. It's wonderful. Second, okay, the next thing we'll talk about is stillness and meditation. Universal intelligence speaks in silence. It comes to us in silence. Your intuitive sense comes to you when you're soft and you're quiet, not when you're overthinking. When the mind's running, silencing the mind. If we're always busy, we miss the guidance that is trying to reach us. If it's the mind's always busy, it's just taking a few moments to move into that reprieve. You're just letting go for a little while. So what you can do is it's really simple. A lot of people have all these ideas of what meditation or stillness should be. It's just stillness. That's all it really takes. You're just sitting in stillness, even if it's for 5 minutes a day, and you can just breathe and listen. That's one of my favorite ways to teach meditation to new people who are moving into meditation. I like to I don't even have to close my eyes. I just sit there. I first begin to become aware of my breath. It's nasal. I come in and go out. It's like a balanced breathing, in for 3 to 5, out for 3 to 5. I just listen. You're just listening. It's like you're listening for a pin to drop. And just by doing that, what that does is this teaches you how to place your attention, because that's really the key. That's really the big key of meditation, is you taking control of your attention. Because normally our attention is hijacked all the time by external stimuli. And so by us being able to be in our body, and like I mentioned before, that's the number one place to be when you're trying to get away from your incessant thinking, when you're having a hard time. When life's just giving you a hard time, sometimes the best thing you can do is go into your body. What you'll also find when you go into your body, especially if there's a lot of stress, is unresolved emotion. And as you're breathing, meditating, and going into your body, quite often you will find that. This is a somatic type of thing. You're moving into the parts of you where you feel the tension and the pain and the pressure. And by you recognizing it, this gives you the ability to purge it, to give it away. There's some other things I teach around there, but it's a primary kind of understanding about it, that stillness and meditation. So that's my recommendation, is just, it's this simple. Try sitting in stillness for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes, right? And it doesn't matter if your mind runs away, that's okay. Come back to your breath, okay? Come back to that present moment, just being here with your breath and listening. And, you start to worry about dinner or what Sally said, or, the kids or whatever. Fine, that's okay. You don't stop. You don't run away. You don't get up and do. You stay still. You become aware, oh, I'm having these thoughts. What if I just let go of that just for now and I bring my attention back to my breathing? You're training yourself where to place attention, right? You're allowing yourself to have that time of separation from the incessant thinking. And all it takes is a little bit, just a little bit of effort can start to make big, big changes. Because most people, including myself, when I first tried to sit in stillness, it was extremely difficult, extremely difficult. Now it's beautiful. It's something I just love to do. When it's time for meditation, I can sink right in, a couple of breaths. I can sink right in. Just one breath. I could feel that. It just tells my body is so now trained from what I've been doing that just even one breath, my body knows everything's safe, we're okay, and we can move into that space. Another thing is following your intuition. Intuition is the language of universal intelligence, your intuitive sense. The things that you just know, you don't know how you know, but you know. Okay, that is your connection to universal intelligence. And the more that you trust these gut feelings, this unspoken kind of language that comes into you, the more aligned you become. So it's practice. Intuitive sense is something that needs to be practiced. And again, this can only really be attained through that place of inner stillness, and that needs to be cultivated. It's not something that's just there for most people. You are always the stillness of the universe, but it's accessing that dimension of consciousness that takes a little bit of work. Another thing that we can touch on here is letting go of resistance. What if instead of forcing things, you surrender to life? You surrender to the unfolding of life. Resistance creates suffering and flow creates peace. And this also takes practice, allowing yourself to just let go, stop trying to control, because a lot of that is also an addictive form of behavior. There's dopamine involved. Worry is something that can be transferred to us from our parents, from, society. I mean, most people, we've been trained that if we're not worried, then we're not doing good enough. You should be worried. Most people, and if you're not a person that worries, people that do worry look at you like there's something wrong with you because you don't worry. I always tell everybody there's really nothing to worry about at all because you have no control over the outcome of anything. You only have control over your reaction. That's the only thing there's control out of. And then one of my favorites, okay, gratitude is an alignment tool. Gratitude is one of the greatest tools for alignment I've ever come across, okay? And then when you put it in order with the things we were kind of talking about, letting go of resistance, following your intuition, stillness and meditation, and then, of course, your breathing, right? Gratitude practice. One of the fastest ways to shift into alignment is gratitude. When you acknowledge the abundance already present, you tune yourself into the ability to receive more. And one of my favorite ways to do that is first taking control of the breath. You're just slowing the breath down. People are like, well, what is this breath control thing? Slowing your breath down. Becoming aware of your breathing, not breathing in and out of your mouth, not breathing shallow, high in the chest. Become aware of your breathing. Extend it a little. Feel your breath moving. And then as you start to feel your breath moving, this starts to calm the physiology. Now you begin to recall a few things you're grateful for. And I already did a podcast about practicing gratitude, and you can check that out. Go back to those episodes. Stepping into visualizing the things you're grateful for and actually feeling and embodying them. That's super duper important because it's not just the thoughts and the concepts of gratitude that are important. It's actually feeling. How do you feel gratitude in your body? Bringing your attention. Where is it? Where does it live inside of you? Where is your gratitude? Mine's all fuzzy and feels good. It's in my heart space and in my upper belly. Not down low in my belly. It's up high. Solar plexus area, and then up into my heart. It tickles a little at the base of my throat. I can feel it when I breathe, and I have the ability to use my mind to breathe into the gratitude to make it more. And you can begin to radiate that gratitude from you. That begins to radiate and begins to move into the quantum field of living energy around you. And what that does is that creates the capacity for it to return to you. That's part of access of that universal intelligence. And that's a beautiful way to access universal intelligence is through gratitude practice. What I will tell you is gratitude practice is nearly impossible until you learn how to master your breath, until you learn how to master parts of your internal mind and stillness, until you can trust your intuition, and until you can let go of resistance. That's why I listed those things first, because most people just can't jump right into an effective gratitude practice because those kind of other pieces are also required. You need to be able to let go and trust your intuition to be able to relax enough to really feel and experience the vibration and the intelligence that gratitude actually brings. What a wonderful, I love this. I love talking about this. So it's just wonderful tools to share, and I'm glad I'm here. Let's jump in the comments before I head into the next segment. 1 million Buddhas! Hello, Mark. I'm glad you're here. Good afternoon, y'all. Tachi Navarro, definitely feeling out of alignment with myself and working to line things back up. And that's okay. Like I mentioned before, it's not that being out of alignment is a bad thing. It's just recognizing that you're out of alignment. That's the important part. You don't have to do something right away. People are rushing, like I was talking to somebody the other day and they're so focused on healing and all I do is think about healing. I had to bring to their attention that that kind of mindset is actually an addiction. You need to slow down and just be with your life. Sometimes When you're out of alignment, you have to spend time there so you can learn what it needs to teach you. Because it's being out of alignment sometimes is the teacher, and it's you coming back into the alignment is what helps you integrate the teaching. Okay? So it's totally okay. Thank you for sharing that, Tachi. That's vulnerability, and I appreciate that out of all human beings because it takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable. Thank you for sharing your knowledge on all of these timely talks. My pleasure, sister. I'm so glad you're here. Be careful on that ice, okay? I love your videos. If anybody wants to watch some cool videos of cold plunges and open water cold plunges, check out my sister Parveen. She's got a beautiful channel, and she's also a Wim Hof instructor, so check her out. Lulu Sanchez, hi. I'm glad you're here. I feel as though I'm in a flow state these days. Good. That's nice. I like to interpret it as grace, my smooth connection with grace. Yeah, there's lots of words you can use, grace is, you're describing kind of the same thing that I'm saying, just in a different word. It all has to do with definitions. What does grace mean to you? What does it mean? So it might not mean the same thing. It's kind of a tricky term that I'll stay away from for the most part because it's often intertwined with religious ideas that are a little misguided. But I understand and I agree with that, Nardu. Thank you. All right, so my friends, the invitation today is to tune in, listen, align. Universal intelligence is always speaking. It's always happening. Or another way I would say is the ability for God to communicate with you is always there. Okay, for the universal energy, the universal spirit to communicate with you. You just have to be still enough to hear it. That's why even we were just talking about religious in terms of biblical scripture. It's be still and know that I am God, because God's only going to talk to you when you're still. That's kind of how that works. Hold on, we got something going on here. Hopefully it's not an emergency, but my phone's going off. Yeah, it's not. It'll have to wait. Where was I? You just have to be still enough to hear it. It's always talking. What practice are you going to implement from today's discussion? You can let me know in the comments. What do you think about these things I told you? Is there something you're going to implement? And if whatever you found valuable, you can share it with someone who needs to hear it. Share this live stream. Someone needs to hear this. And if you want to go deeper, stay tuned for upcoming breathwork sessions and teachings. Every other Sunday, I'm going to be doing a Zoom meeting, which you can get the link from me by messaging me. Because if you message me, you get the link. That's how it kind of shows up. And this is called Light Club, where a bunch of us get together. We do some breath work. We do some prayer. We do some spiritual work. And then we'll usually do some sort of meditation, which is very powerful, especially when you come into a group. Also, if you would like to go deeper into some of these subjects or you'd like some personal coaching, that is available. You can go to my Facebook page, and on my Facebook page, there is a link for Linktree. And with that, you'll also get free access to some videos, some instructional videos about breath work and energy work that I have there going on. That's about it. I don't really have any other events or anything happening. I'm kind of focused on this kind of stuff, doing these free live streams, because that's kind of what I'm out here doing. The things I'm sharing with you here are things people pay thousands of dollars to go on retreat to hear about and to learn. And I'm giving it to you for free right here in the comfort of wherever you want to watch it, even though we are in the sunny mountains of I'm not sure where. That's my new background, by the way. I really enjoy it. I love it. It's the sun, it's the mountains. These are all things Paco loves. Oh, yes. So I'm going to open up the floor if anybody has any questions. And what we're going to do is in a couple minutes, we're going to do a guided meditation. But right now it's kind of like Q&A. So let me know what's on your mind. Tachi says, had a beautiful icy cold plunge at 5:30 a.m. I have been plunging for almost 4 years, and today was the first time my hands and feet got uncomfortable and numb. I embraced it, though. Love it. Cool. I'm not cleared to plunge yet. I am cleared to take cool showers. However, I've been taking cold showers, and they're fully cold up here in northern Ohio. My water temperature, incoming water temperature, measured at a nice chilly 43 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm up to about 4 minutes, 15 seconds. I add about 15 seconds every few days. I've been taking my cold showers every day. And it's not very hard for me. It's quite easy. When I first started, it was really hard, mostly because I was just afraid. After you have open heart surgery, you have these mental ideas like that you're not strong enough or good enough. Or it's really intense. It continues to be a pretty intense experience recovering from what I'm recovering from. This Sunday will be 12 weeks. It'll be 12 weeks since my open heart surgery, and really there's nothing wrong with my heart, but it's just the plumbing. I had what's called a Class A aortic dissection, meaning that my primary artery coming off of my heart, my aorta, began to kind of shred internally, and blood started going in between the layers, and it started to cause aneurysms and things that were happening. Very, very life-threatening situation, and I had to have emergency surgery for it. But I've been able to use all of my tools since then to help me to recover. I'm recovering at a very fast pace, and I'm grateful for having these abilities to know about healing and have the connection to spirit to bring healing to me, not just in a physical sense, but a mental, emotional sense. Because I would say that from my research of others that have had open heart surgery and my own experience, the mental and emotional issues are far beyond the physical stuff. And the physical stuff is terrifying. I won't lie to you. I 10 out of 10 do not recommend having open heart surgery, but I also will tell you this has been the greatest learning experience that I've ever had in my entire lifetime. Okay, has anybody got questions? Let me know about your questions. And then what we're going to do is we're going to follow up. We're going to finish up here with about a 10, 15-minute meditation, aligning with universal intelligence. Tachi says, I had some lingering and unprocessed trauma from an incident with my kids, and I remember being scared to cold plunge and avoided it for weeks. And incredible what happens. Yeah, sure. The cold plunge can be very powerful, okay? The thing is that if you have to use a cold plunge, to handle the problems, this means that you have a dysregulated nervous system. So one has to watch out, because even the wellness techniques, the tools, can be forms of escapism. They can be like drugs. You're never really changing what needs to change inside. We just escape into the breath work. We just escape into the cold plunge. We just escape into yoga. We just escape into Qigong. We just escape into meditation. There's ways that it can actually work against you. To use those tools is to learn more about the self, to be able to process the information. It's amazing what happens when the body doesn't feel safe. Yeah. Often that's due to thinking a story that's being agreed to. But there's also things, we call kind of like residual energies that are stored within the cellular structures of the body. But it's learning how to process those things. And it's meditation, it's breathing, it's learning how to flow with life. Starts to let those things kind of loosen up. All right, if everybody's ready, we'll do a little meditation here. And this meditation, it's a guided meditation by me. I've designed this one and written this one. And the duration's about 15-ish minutes, okay? So the purpose of this meditation is to attune your awareness to the flow of universal intelligence. You're attuning. This helps us to connect and deepen your connection to cosmic consciousness and release resistance to life's unfolding, allowing yourself to release and go with the unfolding of life, okay? We're going to begin first. I just want you to bring yourself into a relaxed position. You're going to close your eyes. What we're going to begin to do is just kind of roll the neck around, move the neck around, and you're just loosening out the muscles of your neck, Roll your neck around softly rolling. And anything that feels tight, rock it back and forth there. And just softly roll the neck around, and you're relaxing. And you're going to take in a nice deep breath. Relaxing your neck, and with a soft sigh, your eyes are closed. Just relaxing. This meditation is designed to help you align with the great intelligence that moves through all things. The same intelligence that breathes life into you, that governs the stars, that orchestrates the unfolding of the universe itself. As you relax into this practice, allow yourself to trust in the flow of life, to dissolve resistance, and to become home within and to the stillness within. As you allow yourself to drop deeper into a comfortable position, you're going to systematically release all the tension and pressure in your body. You're letting go of all the tension and pressure in your shoulders and in your neck and in your back. And you're just allowing yourself to relax as we begin to move into the universal breath. You're going to begin by bringing your awareness to your breath and feel the rise and fall of your chest, the gentle expansion and contraction of your belly. Now let's begin to breathe together in a rhythm that aligns us with the natural pulse of creation. You're going to inhale deeply for 4 seconds. Inhale. Hold for 4. And out for 6. In. Hold. Out. In. Hold. Out. In. Hold. Out. Continue to breathe, and as you breathe in, you feel yourself drawing in cosmic energy, filling your body with life force. As you hold, you feel the stillness, the space where all possibilities exist. And as you exhale, you let go of all tension, all resistance, surrendering fully to the flow of life. In. Hold. 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 And just relax. Just relax. Feel your body, feel the tingle, feel all that life force energy that you've brought in, the universal and cosmic life force. We're now entering the field of universal intelligence. You're going to use your mind's eye and your disciplined imagination as you just relax, imagining yourself standing in a vast, infinite space, a luminous field of energy that extends beyond time and space. This is the field of universal intelligence, the space where all things are connected, where all answers reside. Feel yourself merging with this field. You are not separate from it. You are it. Every breath you take, you dissolve deeper into this infinite awareness. Here, there is no struggle, no resistance, only pure alignment. Allow yourself to settle into the stillness, taking in a soft but deep breath and a long, slow sigh. Feel your breath. Slow, deep inhale. Long sigh. And once more, slow, deep breath. Long sigh. And just relax. Your eyes are closed. Your body is calm. You're now in the space of pure connection. I want you now to set an intention. You're going to hold this intention in your heart. You're not going to grasp, but instead you're going to hold this in your heart with trust. It can be a question, a request for clarity, or simply a willingness to be guided by life itself. You can ask the question in your mind, universe, Great Spirit, God, what is it that I need to know now? And as you allow that intention or that question to move out, radiate from you, you're going to just listen, sense, feel. The universe is always speaking, not in words, but in subtle impressions, feelings, and intuitive knowing. Whatever may arise, trust it. Perhaps an image appears, maybe a word, or maybe just a deep sense of peace. Perhaps nothing yet arises, and that's okay too. Simply know that the guidance you seek is already on its way. As you just sit here and allow yourself to be open without resistance, in a space of reception, just relax, let your breath be slow. If your mind begins to wander, bring your attention back to the feeling of your breath. We'll spend just a few moments here. Allowing yourself just to feel and experience the present moment, embodying the flow that comes to you. Now, using your mind's eye and disciplined imagination, Imagine yourself flowing effortlessly through life, like a river moving toward the ocean. No resistance, no force, just trust. Everything you need comes to you in perfect timing. Repeat that in your mind. Everything I need comes to me in perfect timing. Every challenge is an opportunity for me to grow. And repeat that in your mind. Every challenge is an opportunity for me to grow. Every breath is a reminder that I am supported. And repeat that in your mind. Every breath is a reminder that I am supported. Feel these truths anchoring into your body. Bring your attention to your breathing, and as you inhale, breathe in deep trust. And as you exhale, release any doubt. I release all doubt. I breathe in trust. I trust the universe, and I release all fear and doubt. Breathing in, I trust God, the Creator, and I release all fear and doubt. I breathe in trust and grace and release all fear and doubt. 3 more. Breathe in trust. Release doubt. Breathe in light and trust. And release heavy and doubt. And once more. Breathe in. And breathe out. And just pause. Let your breath become still and just be paused here in a few breaths. Let your breath go intuitively where it wants. Now you're going to gently bring your awareness back to your body. Feel your hands and your feet. And begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Waking up and taking in a big deep breath. Blowing it out. And as you become ready, you're going to open your eyes. And you're going to carry this sense of alignment with you and into the rest of your day. The universe flows through you, and you are the universe in motion. I want to thank you all for joining me in this beautiful meditation. And I want you to remember that alignment is not something you achieve once. It's not a one-time thing. You don't just achieve alignment. It's a practice, okay? Coming into alignment with your higher self, coming into alignment with the communication of Source or God or whatever terms you like to use, or grace, I think someone said, coming into alignment with the grace of all things. This is a daily practice. This is something that requires a lot of practice. It's not a one-time thing. It's a way of being. You're training yourself to be in a new way. So continue to breathe, trust, and move with life rather than against it. Go with the flow. Row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, merrily, merrily. You have a choice to be happy, for life is but a dream. If this meditation resonated with you, I encourage you to come back to it whenever you need to realign. I send to you all Munai Sanko, love of the heart. My friends, my soul family, I love you all so much, and I'm so grateful to be here, to be alive, and have my new heart plumbing and everything, to be here to share with these things. These are beautiful things to share, and I hope you share them with others. Okay, come back, watch it again. If you didn't get everything you need from it, watch it again. There's magic within these things, within these broadcasts and what we're doing here. Any comments, concerns, or even criticisms. If there's something you need to say, feel free to say it. You can also message me personally. If you have personal questions, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help everyone, regardless of income, whether you can pay me or not pay me, I'm going to help you. I'm here to do that for everyone. And I look forward to whatever happens next from here. I'm going to give it just a couple moments for anyone that has any questions. If anybody wants to drop in the comments, I'm welcome to that. Wow, I feel very light. I feel very, very good. I love doing these live streams. These live stream podcasts are some of my favorite things to do. And I really, really missed them because I wasn't doing them much for a while. I kind of was in a mind state where I felt like I was being taken advantage of, and all the things I was giving out into the world I wasn't receiving back. But I got to tell you, after my incident with my aorta and how much love came back to me from my community, I knew soon as I was ready, I was going to come back and start giving again, start coming out and sharing as much information and love and wisdom as I possibly can, because I want to live in a world where people, are conscious and, lovingly work together to create a more beautiful world. And I know and sense and feel that that is more than possible. And I love to be alive, and I love to be here with you all. All right, if nobody has any questions or comments or concerns, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you all so much for being here today. The next episode will be Friday, and I have no idea what the topic is. I have a bunch of topics laid out, but I have to see what this one is. Where are you? What is the topic? The topic is, I love today's. Today was great. This was living in alignment with universal intelligence. Next is episode 8, and that's going to be your personal healing journey. Okay, so we'll be sharing personal healing journeys. We will be sharing stories of growth, healing, and transformations. And I'll also be sharing some lessons from my own experiences of healing, including the aortic dissection, including my recovery and healing from stage 3 lung disease, COPD, emphysema, arthritis in the hips, pretty much all symptoms that are, generally related to autoimmune dysfunction. I've been able to learn how to heal from all of these things, and what it's done is it's brought me a whole lot of experience that I'm able to share with others. And now in the last 5 years, I've been able to help thousands of people all over the world, 57 countries, become happy, healthy, and strong. And some of you are right here. I'm grateful for you all. I love you all so much. I'll be back on Friday. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye.